NHL playoffs continuing. We've had some incredible games over the first two rounds. Now just 4 teams remaining. It's getting good. And here on Keeping Score, we're breaking down the action. Welcome to Keeping Score, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Theodore Fernandez, known as T-Money, and I'm your host for today's discussion. And we're going to reintroduce our cast. You guys know them well if you've watched our previous 2 shows, which I hope you have. Starting on my right, Caden, the K-Man, rocking the Kraken jersey.
Yep.
Yeah, not a great result for that team last round.
I'm happy, man. No one saw this after last year, so I'm really happy.
All right, happiness, a theme early on in this show. And now moving right next to the K-Man, Drew, kicker idiot. Where's your jersey at?
Left it at home, but also Devils lost, so there's no point in wearing it. But next show I will wear a USA hockey jersey. But also, same thing as Caden, happy with the season the Devils had. Record-breaking year for them. Disappointing that they lost, but they beat the Rangers, so they went out on a high note. Sorry. But, yeah, it was a good season, but excited for the next few years to come.
Yeah, look, Devils, Kraken both had solid seasons. I'm right on the Ranger jersey again. I'm still disappointed in the team, still disappointed in what happened to us, as is JP sitting to my far left. Yeah, rough season. I don't want to talk about it anymore. What do you want to talk about?
There's a lot to talk about. I really messed up. I don't know what I'm doing right now.
I don't know what you're doing either, and that's why we're going to move on from you and go to Rowan. How are you doing?
I'm a little disappointed in my Devils team, obviously, but still the playoffs. We got to keep going, and as they say in hockey, let's do that hockey, right?
Let's do that hockey. How many times have we said that on the show? At least 3 already, and we'll say it more.
That was the first time.
That was the first.
No, we said that last show.
No,
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
No.
Okay, someone rewatched the tape. We have said let's do that hockey, as we should have, because you got to say it. Okay, let's move on from this and go into the conference semifinals. We had 4 series last round, and let's take a look at who we picked in those matchups. First of all, Stars Kraken, as we alluded to. The Stars won it. Me and Joe were the only ones to pick that. And Caden, give us a quick analysis. Why did it go wrong for the Kraken, especially in that Game 7?
Obviously, it was a fantastic series. This was really a series about goaltending. Both of the goaltenders did phenomenal. Grubauer was carrying the Kraken heavily. He had some amazing saves in Game 7. But in Game 7, we weren't playing our offensive game. It wasn't there. And the Stars were just kind of running through us, We weren't putting up much of a fight. Obviously, I'm a little bit disappointed, but still, as I said, happy to see this unexpected result.
Yeah, look, I think it's skewed a little bit by the Knights going on that crazy run their first year, but the fact of the matter is to be a second-year team and win a playoff series, that's a big accomplishment. People can't sleep on that. Moving on, let's take a look at the other Western Conference series because this was a big-time matchup. But, the Knights played the Oilers, and it was a series that I was the only one who nailed. I was the only one who actually picked Vegas to win. I've been high on Vegas the whole time. So I'll let you take this one, Drew. How did it go so wrong for the Oilers?
To be honest, I honestly thought it was the goaltending and the defense for the Oilers. They signed Jack Campbell from the Maple Leafs thinking they'd have a solid number 1 because they've been lacking. They had Cam Talbot for a little bit, but to be honest, just the goaltending and defense really, they thought they were able to do that at the deadline, bring in some acquisitions, but it just didn't pan out. And you can't rely on McDavid and Draisaitl to score 2 goals or 3 goals a night between the two of them or each, and it just didn't work out. But I saw something on social media a couple days ago comparing McDavid and Durant after 6 or 7 years, whatever it was. They had the exact same stats, exact same all-star stuff, and people are saying, could we see kind of another Gretzky trade go down where this could be one of the biggest trades of all time if McDavid wants out. But I said it multiple times, I thought this was the year that McDavid got his cup, but it didn't. And Vegas had another great year. Questions with their goaltending, but just another dominant performance. Jack Eichel's been playing really good for them, so good to see that they came out on top.
Yeah, and not to continue to brag about myself, but I was completely on top of this Vegas pick from the beginning. Before we move on to the next series, was it you, Rowan, who said Draisaitl and McDavid were the two best players in the league?
Yeah, it's a very disappointing outcome, obviously. I love this Oilers team, but I'm gonna go through the storm, stay with it. I'm gonna keep saying that. Maybe not overall, but I think they're definitely the two best offensive players now. I'm shifting my words a little bit.
McDavid is the best player.
Yeah,
McDavid's
McDavid's
still
still-
not
yeah.
now.
I'm saying, but like offense-wise, it's McDavid, Draisaitl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the other side, the Knights, they just I don't know, something about them. Just they had the edge, it seemed, with the offense. Obviously, the goalie and defense. The defensive side is a little better than Oilers. Jonathan Marchessault, I know I said that wrong.
Marchessault, yeah.
Yep,
Pretty good.
Marchessault. He had 5 goals this round, and we really saw him just shine. And there was a couple other players that I can't name off the top of my head that also did really good on the offensive side. And I think that was just the main factor to them winning.
Yeah, great analysis is always there. And with that being said, we're going to move over to the East, where our first series was an absolute shocker to everybody here. Again, except for me, because I nailed this series. But the Florida Panthers, after pulling off one of the craziest first-round upsets of all time, kept it rolling against the Leafs. And somehow all 4 of you decided that Toronto was going to win. I don't know how that happened. Joe, can you please explain the delusion among this room?
Yeah, well, I mean, Florida proved me wrong. I don't think I've ever been proved more wrong in my entire life than the Panthers just proved me wrong. Like, I really thought that it was just they had luck. They were just getting a little jumpy. And I thought that the Leafs, with actual skill, actual talent, would just blow them right over. It was the opposite. I can't even believe it. But, I mean, Barkov, Verhaeghe, Carter Verhaeghe came out of nowhere, honestly. I've never even heard of this dude in my entire life before the playoffs. But, and then Bobrovsky coming in just on his head, absolute, just dominant.
Yeah. I mean, look, that was a series I'm glad I picked. Wish I got the games right, but still, I was 3 for 3 there, and there was one more series to go. It was the Devils and the Canes.
Here, another thing
My
about
favorite.
another thing
Okay.
about the
Let's hear
Panthers
this
and
first.
the Maple Leafs. Talking about the Maple Leafs, going back to it, I honestly think we'll see some major changes by the Maple Leafs in the offseason after this because something's not clicking, and they were talking about it. Another thing on social media too was something about the Islanders now that they got rid of John Tavares. They've won, I think, 5 playoff series in the last five years. Like they've won at least 1 playoff round each in the last 5 years. So another thing to think about it, could it be Tavares? They're talking about maybe stripping Tavares of the captaincy, possibly.
Wow.
So there's a lot of another team to watch, like including the Rangers too.
Yeah.
This offseason is going to be big for them to see what happens. Maybe Matthews gets traded, wants out, Marner, one of those two. But we'll
I
see.
heard Matthews actually said that he believed in the core of the Maple Leafs team and
Yeah.
that he wasn't leaving. I don't know if I was Matthews, I don't think I'd do the same thing. I think I'd do that.
Like, you just won your first playoff series in like 17 years, though.
Yeah.
Can you really tear it all up now? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to justify making changes, but I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah, I thought their GM Dubas he did a fantastic job at the deadline. He got Ryan O'Reilly, and luckily Ryan O'Reilly got hurt with injuries, but I mean he did everything right, and it's just coaching and it's down on the players.
Yeah.
Yeah, now if you're thinking about Marner and Matthews being too inconsistent, I saw something on Instagram the other day. It was really interesting. It was a trade proposal to the Oilers. So you guys got to hear me out. Connor McDavid to Toronto for Marner and Matthews combined, both of them.
No
Do you
picks.
take-
No picks.
I would not do that.
No, maybe there's some picks involved. Maybe I don't really know. Some in the middle, but it's interesting, right? You guys got to
It's
think
interesting,
about it.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because if you're thinking, and if they were too inconsistent, Marner and Matthews, and if they haven't made the playoffs, the Leafs haven't made the playoffs in 17 years, do you think they're going to do better somewhere else? Do you think McDavid's going to be the one that's really going to take them far?
That's an absolutely wild hypothetical.
If I'm the Oilers and I get 2 or 3 first-round picks and maybe another player, I think I'd do that.
Yeah. I mean, right, that's the kind of crazy package.
Because
you need.
McDavid is 26. Like I know he's
Right.
still playing, he's still in his prime,
Yeah.
but
But
I
it's
mean,
also Austin Matthews
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
I would
Mitch
probably
Marner,
do
yeah.
that, like just for, like if they add another role player, like you said.
yeah, just
and-
another like kind of
yeah.
like maybe top 6 forward or top
Yeah.
4 defenseman.
And they
but-
still have Draisaitl. Remember that.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
they have
and
the-
Nugent Hopkins.
Yeah, exactly. They have
Alright.
the 2 best players in the world. They could just have the second.
Yeah.
best, right?
As much as I'd love to keep talking about this, we do unfortunately have to move on to other series. So let's take a look at the last to tie a bow on the semifinals, the Canes-Devils series, where this one was pretty split. all three of us Rangers fans got this right by picking against the Devils.
Not by
None of us got the games, though. I mean, Canes in 5, I thought that Jersey would at least put up some kind of fight, but no, just got completely bowled over. And with that being said, Jack Hughes is overrated as he previously was.
Dude, he lost his looks. Now he has nothing.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
Lost it too.
Yeah, so with that being said, we're now going to give you our official standings. You know, reminder, every correct series winner was worth 1 point, and you would get an additional point if you got the correct amount of games and also the team right. So let's take a look at where we stand after 2 rounds. Look, 1 round to go. I had 3 points, and now I have 8. I went 4 for 4. I'm knocking on the door, but Caden with 11 is relatively stable in first place right now. Drew, 9 points after going 0 for 4.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, look, Drew and Caden got 1 point combined in the second round. Rowan got 0.
Yeah.
Me and Joe did the best out of all of us, which was nice to see. You know,
It's come back
stars
to
and
you.
7 helped us out, right?
There we go.
Yeah, we're really in a position to move up. So this is big, I mean, because we're running out of points that you can earn in this show. So the 2 series that we pick here are going to be instrumental in determining a winner, but 4 of the 5 of us are still in reasonable striking distance. No
I'm
disrespect.
2 points behind. I feel like I can still make a comeback.
You have to get a game right.
Well,
for that
yeah,
to happen.
yeah, I know.
And I don't think you can do that.
Wow.
I'm just
Call it
saying it
out,
how it is
folks.
right now. So right now, let's take a look actually at the first series, and we're going to give you guys a pretty lengthy breakdown since we have less games to talk about. So we're going to start out Western Conference, Stars and Knights. This is an interesting one. I went Stars in 6, and then Drew, the K-Man, and Roe all went Knights, and then JP agrees with me on Stars. So we have a split room here. And I've been high on Vegas. You guys know this. Like I've been riding them the whole time. And I don't know, watching Dallas, I see a lot in them. And I'm going to let Joe give me the full, hockey fan breakdown of why he thinks Dallas is going to win this series.
Yeah, so, I mean, they haven't let me down yet. Why would they stop now is kind of like what I'm going off of. No disrespect to Vegas, they are absolutely insane. I mean, again, Ro was saying March or so, popping off. Eichel, you're saying. But still, just points that I made in previous episodes with Robertson, Heiskanen, Rupe Hintz has been so good. I actually can't even explain that. He's just scoring goals all over the place and clutch ones at that. And then Ottinger just being Ottinger. It's gonna be tough why I have it going to 7, but I really see the Stars getting past.
Yeah, Caden, haven't heard from you in a while. Why do you? Well, I mean, defend Vegas for us, right?
Yeah, I think Vegas, it's definitely going to be a tough one for Vegas. I don't think it'll go to 7, though. I think facing Ottinger is going to be a real challenge for them after coming out of the West with, the goalies aren't as great in the West, let's be honest,
we know.
right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be a tough one, but I think Eichel can get it done. I think their core is just so strong, and I think they're going to knock over these veteran players who, a little bit older, let's be honest, and at the end of their careers.
Drew, Rowan, anything you guys want to add?
Well, the Stars, they've been really good. As you mentioned, Rupe Hintz, he's been on fire lately. Seems like top 3 players in the playoffs right now. But with this Vegas team, or at least, last series when it was Vegas Oilers, I was telling myself these are the 2 best teams in the playoffs right now, and whoever wins this one, I'm gonna try to go with them all the way. So I'm gonna just stick to that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I see that. For me, it's a psychological thing right now. It's the thing where we just saw Vegas win an absolutely incredible series in pretty dominating fashion, and I just think they're due for a letdown. And Dallas is no slouch. I mean, they're a team that I slept on a little earlier in the year, but they are a very talented team, as JP alluded to earlier, and I could really, really see Dallas being the one in the Stanley Cup. And now let's find out who their opponent would be. Let's cross over to the Eastern Conference, where we have a series that not many of us thought we'd have in the conference finals. Panthers, Canes.
Feud
Yeah.
series of all time.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. I mean, who would have thought, like, Florida, Carolina in a hockey conference final? Come on, what is going on here? And I'm the only one who picked the Panthers. I'm the only one who picked the
no
Panthers.
way.
How have you guys not learned your lesson yet? I mean, we all haven't gone to 7, but you 4 all have Canes in 7. So talk amongst yourselves right now. Like, how did you guys let this happen?
It's not gonna happen. There's no like. It's time for it to come. It's time for it to come to an end. Really, they got to be humbled by somebody. I don't know. It has to be the Canes at this point.
Are the Canes really the team to humble them, though?
Yeah,
I think the Canes are the overall better.
Yeah.
But the only thing I could see that the Canes could lose by is their goaltending. I think their goaltending is the most questionable thing about their team right now, and that's where I think Florida has the advantage with Brovsky. And then if he gets a little shaken up, they have their backup. That I'm blanking on his name, but he's also also solid too. So but I do think the Canes overall are the better team. But who knows? We'll see.
I mean, remember like early playoffs when Tkachuk said they were going to win in 2024 and all of their own fans were laughing at it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tkachuk is definitely public enemy number 1. Like
He should be.
he's swaggering around the ice.
I love Tkachuk right now.
Yeah.
And I just think that you look at Florida, they were undeniably the worst team the first round. They were undeniably the worst team the second round. Those are 2 of the most talented squads in the league that they beat in. And they beat the Leafs pretty handily. I mean, it was a 3-0 lead. They dropped a couple and then finished off in 6. So I really, really think that we will see Florida continue their improbable run and make the Stanley Cup run. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, with the Florida Panthers, nobody expected them to beat the Bruins. They were the best team in the league. Everyone knows that. But then they face the Maple Leafs. And the Maple Leafs are a team that nobody expected again. But I wouldn't say they're as talented as Boston or the Hurricanes. So I can kind of understand how they can beat the Maple Leafs. But the Hurricanes, they're on a whole nother level. And I can't see it. But I haven't seen the Panthers win in my
Now,
head.
with that being said, you all have it going 7. So you all, on some level, do believe that the Panthers will be able to compete. And I'm at 7 too. I could very easily see this one.
I'll give
going
them
either
some
way.
credit. I'll give them some.
Yeah, I'm playing it safe, honestly.
But to be
'cause
honest, like the Hurricanes, like Timo Teravainen's back tonight for Game 1, which is a big get for them, just having him back. But then also, like you can see how big of a home ice advantage it's been, and the Hurricanes do have the home ice now. But I mean, I mean, their arenas is probably one of the loudest arenas in the whole entire in the NHL. So that's another big advantage for them going back. But Florida also. But we'll see. It'll be a good series.
Yeah, I think we're set up for 2 very, very entertaining series. And look, besides the action on the ice, we got the action here. I mean, we got a pretty tight race to see who's going to win. Look, if Florida pulls this out, and if I nail the games, you guys are in some trouble, especially if Dallas wins too. Me and JP could be knocking on the door. And for the Stanley Cup show that we're going to drop in a couple weeks, we're going to have 4 points to be earned. So we're going to have the game.
Number of goals.
We're going to have, this winner, the number of games, the MVP, and we're going to have one other mystery topic that I'm not revealing to us yet, but will be revealed soon, and you guys will get to find that out if you tune in to our Stanley Cup show.
Do we all get a point for McDavid for?
Yeah, I wonder who the MVP is.
No,
You're saying Conn Smythe.
MVP.
Okay,
Yeah, Conn
I'm just
Smythe.
saying, do we all get a point for
No,
McDavid winning
we
the
don't do
Hart?
participation
We all
trophies
said that.
here, guys.
You know we should.
Come on.
You know we should
No.
do an NHL awards.
Should we do
show.
an NHL award? We will talk about that.
Vote.
Veneers
Vote in
for
the
Calder,
comments. Vote in the
Hellman,
comments.
Allmark for Vezina, McDavid for Hart.
Look, we're going off the rails now. You guys can leave comments on what you want to see in our Stanley
Lindy
Cup
Ruff
champion
for Jack
show.
Adams. I can go
now
on
you
and
know
on.
what
That
you're
one,
saying.
that
Hit that like button if you want us to do awards. Hit that comment
that
if you
like
don't
button.
want us to.
Like and subscribe. Jack Hughes is overrated. Have a good night, everyone. For Work Valley Television, I'm Theodore Fernandez.